Greetings Internet, my name is Old Rod, and if you're watching this video that means that the RSPK tournament at Darksphere in London has finished. The big questions are, how did I do? And what won, if it wasn't me? Let's find out. So the deck I was playing was Banette EX. Banette is a Psychic type Pokemon with 90 HP. It's an EX type, so it does give up 2 prizes. It's got the Poke Power, Shady Move, which allows you to move a damage counter from one card to one of your opponent's cards, any damage counter onto anything else. And then for 1 Psychic and 1 Colourless Energy, Shadow Chant does 30 damage, and then an extra 10 damage for each of your supporter cards in your discard pile, and it maxes out at 90 damage. So it's a very good card. It can attack for only 2 energy, and because Shuppet has the Ascension attack, you can get Banette going very early. So when I was practicing online on TCGOne for this tournament, I was using a deck list for Banette EX that could be found on 3-time world champion Jason Glasinski's blog. Here is Jason's Banette EX list, which I was practicing with. Now, the other thing with Banette is that because it's not a huge Pokemon, it's got only 90 HP, isn't much for an EX type. What Banette EX decks have a lot of is very disruptive cards. So if we look at the deck list here, we've got 4 energy removal, we've got a Pokemon reversal, we've got Solrock and Lunatone, which will shut down Pidgeot's quick search power when you put them both into play. We've also got cards like Crystal Beach, 4 copies of Crystal Beach, which will shut off cards like Scramble Energy, Hold On to Cast Form, Double Rainbow Energy. And we've also got a Desert Ruins here to punish EX Pokemon with higher HP. And in terms of disruption, we've got Girafarig, which will shut down your opponent's Jiraches from Wishing Star. We've also got Smoochum and Jinx. When you evolve Smoochum into Jinx, it gives all your Psychic type Pokemon a smaller retreat cost, which is really useful. And then we also have Jolteon Star, which you can play from your hand to put an extra damage counter not only onto your opponent's active, but onto your active, which you want to be Banette, which you can then Shady Move. It essentially adds 20 damage to Shadow Chant. Speaking of Shadow Chant, the idea of Shadow Chant is you want to get as many supporters into your discard pile as quickly as possible. So if you look at the supporters, we've got all the classic sort of Holon cards, which are great. You can play Mentor or Adventurer or Scientist, and when you do, you can ditch a supporter from your hand straight into the discard pile to help power up Shadow Chant. And this deck also runs TV Reporter. Now TV Reporter has you draw 3 cards and then discard a card from your hand. And again, ideally you want to be discarding a supporter card to help build up Shadow Chant. So let's find out what happened when I got to Darksphere in London. So I was actually lent this Banette EX deck by the event's organiser Patrick, who very kindly lent me the deck, so thank you for that. The deck was basically the same as Jason's list, but there was a couple of cards in there that were different. Here are the cards that were different. I'll go into more detail about them just in a second. And here is, I think this is the deck list. Some of these counts are probably off. I didn't have time to sit down and jot down the exact counts, but here's Patrick's Banette EX deck list that I was using. In general, it's very similar. There's a slightly larger Sonalock, I guess that's what it's called, Lunasol count in here, and the Lunatone is different, but I actually prefer this one because it gives you Solrock free retreat, so that's all grand. Mew Star, I really like this card being in this deck. I think it works better than Jolteon Star or Girafarig. It's not as disruptive as, but you can do some cool stuff in Mew Star. I was a fan of that. Warp Point was really useful as well, so yeah, great. I never used Swoop Teleport or Energy Search, but I'm sure they're useful when other people are using them. But yeah, I never came across using them. This deck doesn't run energy removals, but it does run more Pokemon reversals, so still disruptive. It doesn't have Crystal. It does have Crystal Beach. Sorry, it's got an extra Crystal Beach and one less Desert Ruins, which again is great. Still nice and disruptive, and doesn't have TV Reporter, but it does have your Holon engine still, and it doesn't have Elm either. But yeah, in general, very similar list to Jason's. So let's find out how I did in my matches. My first round was against Bombtar, and this was the deck that I was fearing the most, not only because Bombtar is just the best deck in the format, but poor Banette has a weakness to darkness type. So, round 1 against Bombtar, I managed to win, and I think this is one of the most luckiest wins ever. It was incredibly close for so long. We were both down to one prize left each, but yeah, they were unable to retreat a Jirachi, and I managed to Shadow Chant for the final prize. Yeah, terrifying, incredibly close, very well played by my opponent. Round 2, I was against Flygon EX. It started incredibly well. I was taking prizes, Shadow Chanting. The problem against Flygon EX is that I had a bench full of, I had Jinx, my Lunatone and Solrock all on the bench, and once Flygon EX becomes active, Sand Damage starts putting a bunch of damage counters on these poor basic cards, and yeah, I went from being super ahead in prizes to losing right at the last minute. Very close game. But yeah, so that was 1 win, 1 loss. I had 2 more games. The next game was against Kamlar, Stantler Camerupt, and I'll be honest, I got completely outplayed. And Cursed Stone is what took out all of my Pokemon with Poke Powers, followed by some Split Bombs, and then game 4 was against Flygon EX again. This time I got a terrible start, and the similar thing happened. Sand Damage, yeah, was my downfall. So in the end, 1 win, 3 losses, which I don't mind. I managed to get a win, so that's fine. In terms of the rest of the tournament as a whole, top 4 was, these are the decks in top 4. There was a Bombtar deck. There was a Sceptile deck with all the different Sceptiles in. There was an Aggron deck, which never seen before, very impressive. But the winning deck was a Meganium Delta Species and Kingdra EX deck, which, well done to that deck for taking home the trophy. So yeah, that's how I did. They were the top 4 decks and the winning decks for those taking notes. And it was a really fun tournament, but also a lot of it was streamed, so I will include the stream. I think there were 2 different streams going on. I'll include links to those in the description if you want to see how it all went down. I was not on stream for any of them, probably for the best. Anyway, so that's the tournament report. The rest of this video is me practicing for the tournament on TCGOne with Jason's Banette deck. Let's get on with the action. Okay, so here we go, my first ever game with Jason's Banette build. Right then, it's Shuppet taking on Voltorb to start with, and here we go, turn 1 Ascension. This is the ideal start with a Banette deck, and I've got the Rainbow Energy. GG. Okay, that's what the Banette deck can do with that turn 1 Ascension and only 2 energy needed for Shadow Chant. Yeah, wow. Okay, pretty decent start on my journey into RSPK with Banette in prep for this tournament. There you go. No, is there a... No, the opponent's gone. Right then, back to the lobby it is. There we go, folks. Sometimes Banette can do that. It can win incredibly quickly. Alright, game number 2 with the Banette deck. Okay, and we're against opponent, Tfue. So this player won, I believe, the last RSPK tournament on TCGOne at the time of this recording. So, yeah, okay, I'm thoroughly in the deep end here. Although we're up against Voltorb again, who didn't put up much of a fight last time. But I'm starting with Jinx. Not the ideal... Oh, okay. Voltorb was turned into Jirachi. Starting with Jinx, not ideal. The whole point of Jinx in this deck is really a bench sitter so that you can retreat your Banettes for free. Plus, this Jinx hasn't evolved from Smoochum, so its Pokebody doesn't even work. So this is a pretty pointless card at the moment. Although, I do have Rainbow Energy, and believe it or not, can actually start swinging in with Jinx here with Fire Punch, which would take out this Jirachi. Are we going to see another very short match with this Banette deck? Seems to be specialising in donks here. Okay, no we're not. They've got Holon Mentor, there we go. And yeah, they've got Pidgey, they've got some Tricos on the go. Straight into Pidgeot. Okay, this is a bad sign. The quicker you get Pidgeot in the RSPK format, yeah, it's such a huge advantage. And here I am with Jinx. Why not? Get Fire Punching. Go on, let's take some prizes whilst I still can. So yeah, really, I need a Holon Mentor as quickly as possible here. so that I can get not just Banette on the go. Sorry, yeah, well, Shuppet to get Banette on the go. That's what I need. I need a Shuppet to get Banette going. But also, as mentioned previously, this deck runs Solrock and Lunatone, so I need those guys in order to stop Pidgeot just running rampant here, because that is what happens against Pidgeot decks, unless you're running the two Cosmic Rocks or Battle Frontier, or you imprison them with Gardevoir. Basically, if you can't stop Pidgeot's Pokepower, then you are at such a disadvantage. Oh, they've evolved into Sceptile. Okay, at least we've got the Shuppet. We've got something going on here. Now I'm choosing just to swing him with Fire Punch. This is great. Go on, Jinx. But yeah, you need to be able to stop Pidgeot in this deck somehow. They've evolved into Sceptile. Sceptile's such a good card. Sceptile's going to stop me Shady moving with Banette, which is a shame. They've brought Jirachi in, some more wishing. They're wishing and they're quick searching. I mean, this is like such a solid engine, you know. I'm not too sure what their deck is. It might just be Sceptile with Pidgeot, but yeah, I'm slightly out of my depth here, I think. Not that Jason's deck isn't good, but I, as a player, am out of my depth here. Just hoping to get... I've played one supporter so far. Again, the whole point of this Banette deck is that you can get your supporters in the discard pile as quickly as possible so that you can power up Shadow Chant to start dealing 90 damage as quickly as possible. Cyclone Energy. Wow. Okay. Fair enough. Not sure what my plan is here. Well, I guess, what is it? Sceptile. Sceptile's weak to fire, so maybe that's what I was hoping to do there. Or just keep swinging in against Pidgeots, but yeah. Looks like Sceptile is going to destroy Jinx here. That is what's happened. Jinx, you got a prize. That's not bad. Okay, am I just sending a Shuppet to... Oh wow, I'm benching Voltorb. Yeah, this is not looking good, is it? Wow. I'm sending Shuppet to the Executioner's block here. Sorry, you spooky little puppet. I've got Pokemon Reversal. Could that be useful? Who knows? Okay, so they've got Rayquaza, and they've got the other Sceptile. Okay, so this is a sort of... I don't even know. Like, I'm trying to sound like I know what all these top decks are in ISPK. I don't. But it's some sort of Energy Trans, Sceptile EX, Rayquaza deck. It's got a lot of good cards going on here. See you later, Shuppet. Okay, I'm going to have to do something with Banette here. Okay, Crystal Beach to shut down Sceptile there. Pokemon Reversal is no. If I can find the one that the Banette that actually has Safeguard, nowhere to be seen. That's probably what I was looking for there. Great. Shadow Chant for 40. That's not great. But at least Crystal Beach is in play. But they can just quick search for a Windstorm, I guess, or another stadium. I imagine this is going to get Windstormed immediately. Pidgeot used quick search, and I've got 12 cards in hand. Oh my word! Wow, yeah. For my second ever Banette tournament prep game, this is quite brutal. Let's have a look. Windstorm, there's the Windstorm. See you later, Crystal Beach. That was my only... okay. Right. They've sent Voltorb in to get... Oh no, they're going to Strand Voltorb and start hitting Banette here. Rocket's admin. Okay, so come on. Something good. Quite a lot of good stuff. Let's see if I can hit that energy removal on, I guess, Rayquaza, right? I've hit it. Am I going to remove from Rayquaza? Yes, I am. Okay, so maybe we've got something going here. I'll tell you what, just go on. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Go for Thundershock Voltorb. Why not? And then next turn I've got the Transceiver, so I can actually find, I guess, another Shuppet, and I'm assuming... No, I'm going with Shadow Chant. I thought I was going to Thundershock there. I'm sitting here thinking, why can't I... what on earth? What was that? I'm sitting here thinking, why can't I use Shady Move? It's because they've got Sceptile in play. At this point, I'm going to click on that. There we go. It's finally dawned on me. Maybe I wouldn't have moved in with Banette had I realised that. But I can take the KO on Rayquaza next turn, though, if I Transceiver, ditch the Adventurer, then I would have enough supporters in discard to knock out the Rayquaza. Is that what I want to do, though? Let's find out. Energy Trans. Oh, okay. No. Is Banette going down here? Sky High Claws. Yeah. Great. Okay, so it's down to Voltorb. They've got 2 Sceptile EXs in play. Oh my goodness. Right, what am I doing? Yeah, attach to Voltorb. I need to get the Cosmic Stones and another Shuppet on the go, don't I? If I'm to stand any chance here. Thank goodness that I have. Sometimes you mentor hoping to find the Lunatone and Solrock, and Thundershock Paralysis. Go on, Voltorb. Sometimes you mentor to try and find the moon and the sun, and they're not there, and it's just like, oh great, one of them's in my prizes somewhere, but no help. Okay, they're pairing up. What am I going to do here? Rocket's admin, I guess. Yeah. Surely, okay. This is good. This is the start of something, at least. I've found a Banette, so I can power that up. I've got energy removal. I need Crystal Beach here, really, because once Crystal Beach is in play and Lunatone and Solrock, then maybe I can actually slow them down. Energy removal 2? No. Fair enough. Nice. Come on, Voltorb. Okay, evolve into Banette, and am I going to TV Reporter? Try and find that Crystal Beach. That's what I need to do here, because then I can actually... So much of the Banette deck, it donks a lot, but also if the match is... If you don't win quickly with Shadow Chanting for big damage early on... Oh, okay. Desert Ruins, not as good as Crystal Beach, but, I'm choosing not to evolve into Banette for some strange reason. Am I trying to knock this out and then find the Safeguard Banette? Is that my plan? I think that's my plan here. I'm fishing for a KO on this Rayquaza and then hoping to get... No, I know that's what I'm thinking here, but I'm also thinking, shall I just evolve up? I've evolved up admin again. Okay. There's the Crystal Beach. That's exactly what I'm after. So I think I'm going to let Desert Ruins take out Rayquaza. I might as well, bench. I could sacrifice Smoochum here. No, I guess Voltorb gets sacrificed, right? Fine. And there we go. That's what I've been fishing for. That Safeguard Banette. Okay, so we've got Desert Ruins in play, and we've got Lunatone and Solrock, and they've been admin. Oh, they've got straight into a Steven's Advice. Oh well, typical. Let's see if they and Windstorm. But I have the Crystal Beach, so at least I've made them burn a Windstorm here. Suddenly, it's 3 to 2 left. I don't quite know how I've done that. They'd let their sort of Rayquaza be sacrificed, because clearly they've got all their eggs in the various Sceptile baskets here. In comes Jirachi. They want to do some wishing. Voltorb is... No, I was about to say Voltorb is still alive. He's not. See you later, Voltorb. What's the plan here, then? So the problem here with Sceptile's Pokemon body is that it's stopping Banette here from... I'll put down Crystal Beach. That's nice. Sceptile's stopping Banette from using Shadow Chant here because I need an extra energy card on Banette to use Shadow Chant. It's an EX type. So then, let's see what I'm after here. And the energy, really, just checking how much energy I've got in deck. Also, I wonder how many Windstorm they have used, because as long as I've got this Crystal Beach in play, I should be okay. So yeah, let's just bide my time, I guess, until I find that energy. All seems to be a bit of a stalemate at the moment. That's alright, though. Once I get that energy, I'm fine. Crystal Beach is locked in, so... Okay. I'm thinking now, do they not run any Psychic Energy? Do they just run Grass and Holon's Cast Form? Because if they do... if they don't run Psychic Energy... Hey, admin. Ah! The actual admin is a spectator of the game. Keep up the good work. Yeah! Ah, great to see the TCGOne admin gracing us with his presence, TFU is... unhappy with this. Hey, thanks. Hey, good old... Oh, no, he does have a Windstorm, but I've got another Crystal Beach. Whew, imagine that. Very lucky, very lucky. Oh, good old admin. Yeah, shout out to the admin again, giving us all this delicious retro Pokemon action. Without you, admin, I wouldn't have my meager YouTube channel. Oh, I thought you were talking about the Rockets admin you just played. No, I wasn't, Teef. You don't worry, I wasn't being horrible. No, that would have been a pretty curmudgeonly thing to do, to just boast about a successful Rockets admin. No, it's the actual admin, indeed. It's the actual admin. I'm just showing a bit of love there. Right, what's going on in the game? We've got Jirachi. Oh, so they've got Colon's Castform and Jirachi. They're going to wallop me here, are they? No, they've energy transed it. That makes sense. But I've got the other Crystal Beach. I think I'm going to have to evolve into the safe admin. Ah, that's nice. There we go. Bit of retro love. Anyway, loving aside, let's get back to the battle. And yeah, we're still in this stalemate. I need another energy on Banette. And I need to evolve up into that Safeguard one as well, probably. I mean, they've got one prize left. I mean, okay, Crystal Beach is in play, not bad. I'm going to start powering up. I'm not evolving. Surely power up. Surely put that Safeguard Banette on there. Let's see. I mean, I've got enough supporters in deck to be doing big damage. What am I looking for here? Discard pile for Adventurer. Okay. Trying to find that energy card. Yeah, ditch the Jolteon. Energy removal, not bad. I can get rid of maybe the grass energy. Girafarig's down. Okay. What do I get rid of? Nothing. Fail. So, still at the old stalemate, still no energy. Hoping they've not got Windstorm. Oh, here comes Numel. Okay. Now, I don't know what the plan with Numel is in this deck. Like I say, this is a bit above my pay grade, to be honest. But let's see what happens. I'm going to get rid of... So, still waiting for that energy card. Why don't I evolve up that Shuppet into the Safeguard one? And Camerupt, I'm checking out what Camerupt does. Probably something bad. But anyway, look, their Pidgeot is still locked. Energy attachment, finally, nice. Their Pidgeot still can't do anything. Crystal Beach means that their Sceptiles currently can't do anything, because again, I'm pretty sure they just play Grass Energy. I mean, of course, they can power up the other Sceptile, right? The one with the tail wrap. Energy removal. I want to get rid of that Grass Energy, don't I? Or am I just going to get rid of one of the cast forms? Let's see what I do. I get rid of this Grass Energy. Yes, I do. Okay, right. We've got a plan here. It looks like I've decided that they can't use any of the cast forms. This is it. I'm going in. Jirachi's down. Pidgeot's on quite low health. They are locked. They are locked in with Crystal Beach. Do they have any Grass Energy left? What is going on? Remember, I started this game with Jinx in the active. Jinx, and then Voltorb got a KO. Okay, can we pull it off? I mean, what are they going to put in here? If they put in a Sceptile, it's GG, right? I mean, not quite. I can Shadow Chant for... Uh-oh. What's this? Rosalia into... I mean, it looks like a Flick Poison's coming. What are they going to poison? One of my rocks or my giraffe? Let's find out. Okay, Camerupt is in. What's Camerupt's plan? To, I guess, get some grass energy back? Is that what Camerupt does? No, it does nothing. Great. I've only got one card left in deck. They're just thinking they can deck me out here, but I do have Rocket's admin. To save the day here. Here we go. Right. I've chosen to draw two. Okay, deck counts. I mean, obviously, they still have deck. Okay, it's 1-on-1 prizes. I mean, they have to send out a Sceptile and just to stall for time, Shadow Chant. They're going to retreat into the other Sceptile, I guess. But they don't have any energy, and they don't have any way to get rid of Crystal Beach or use Pidgeot. This is my second ever game with this Banette deck. Oh dear. Crystal Beach and GG. It is over. Oh my god. What? How did I do that? Right then, can't gloat too much. No time for celebration. We are in Another game. So there we are. That was games 1 and 2 with Banette. This is game 3. So far, a very quick win, and then somehow a rather drawn-out win, which almost got me decked out. I don't want to say what a comeback, but apparently what a comeback. I don't quite know how I did that. Anyway, what's going on here? Latias and Shuppet. I've got the Banette in hand. That's nice, but I might as well ascend to get 2 Banettes on the go. And what do I want to find? Are they going to be running Pidgeot? Am I going to get those Cosmic Stones in play? Or am I going to get Smoochum and Jinx on the go? Or all 3? Let's find it. Well, I'm going for the rocks. Or 1 rock. See, this is the thing. Oh no, both the rocks are there. See, I can't quite tell whether they're running Pidgeot yet. So do you bench the rocks, or do you... Looks like I'm going for Energy, Jolteon. What am I doing? No, I've decided against the rocks. There's no Smoochum. What did I get there? Oh no, I got the... This is some of the worst commentary ever. I got the rocks. I'm going to ascend and just hope that I can, Shadow Chant my way to victory nice and swiftly here. Right then. Although Latias does resist Psychic, so let's see how this goes. Although, only takes a couple of Shadow Chants. Even with resist... Actually, that's not true. I need to get some more supporters in the discard. That's what I need to do. Okay. So in case you hadn't realised, they've got some dragons. Nice. Enter the dragons. In case you hadn't realised, I am not as good at this format as I am Base Fossil, and even then, I'm not claiming to be amazing in any of these things. But at least I know what all the cards are in Base Fossil. I grew up with the old Base Fossil cards. These guys were a bit after my time, a bit after my interest in Pokemon had sort of gone. Cyclone Energy, they're going to sacrifice Girafarig. No, okay, that's a pretty good admin. So yeah, there are so many cards in this format that I just don't know what they do. There are so many matchups that I don't know what the optimal decisions to make are. I think with Banette, it's fairly simple in that all you're trying to do is get supports in your discard, hit for big damage, and try and disrupt. It's pretty simple game plans, isn't it? Suitable for beginners, as it says on Jason Klaczynski's website. And I think that's my level, suitable for beginners level. Okay, what is their deck up to? I'm assuming it's the double Latios combo. So I'm assuming it's Dragonite Delta, the green one, the grass type, which is genuinely my favourite card in this format. I love Dragonite Delta species with Dragon Roar. I absolutely love that card. Okay, they're powering up Dragonair. I need to start powering up that other Banette by the looks of it. Or I could be, a real jerk and try and energy remove that cast form. That's probably the thing to do, right? As awful as that makes me feel. Getting energy removal in the RSPK format always feels like, ugh. Feels rotten. Base Fossil is full of energy removals, but you know that, you accept that when you sign up, and so much of the strategy in Base Fossil is can you weather the energy removal storms, whereas it just feels cheap in RSPK to be energy removaling people. But I assume that's what I'm about to try to do. So let's see. I'm only a beginner. It's fine. Okay, energy removal, failed. Good, I'm glad that failed. That's not how I want to win. I'm powering up another Shuppet. Maybe I'm going to search for the Safeguard Banette. Maybe that's what I'm doing there. Anyway, 30 damage. Here comes Water-type Latios. Has that attack, Ice Barrier, which stops EX's attacking it, or doing damage to it anyway. Here comes Dragonite. Uh-oh. So yeah, I think I'm looking for the Safeguard Banette so that I can take out their Water Latios, which is weak to Psychic and is a basic, so it will be confused by Night Murmurs, which is the non-EX Banette's attack. What they're going to do, they're going to deafen me. That's fine, I can take a deafening. Okay, I think the plan is surely power up the other Banette EX. Shady move onto... What am I going to shady move onto here? Probably the Dragonite. It's got loads of HP. I think it needs all the damage counters on it that I can muster. Yeah, there we go. I'd probably stick an energy card on the other Banette EX, right? Who knows? Let's find out. Are we going to go adventuring here? And yeah, they're setting up for a Dragon Roar next turn, I guess, which will take out my Banette and I guess poor little Sharpit. So yeah, looks like I'm going to power up the other Banette. Or are they just going to keep deafening? Sometimes, you know, it is good to item lock, but sometimes you do just want a Dragon Roar. Take out some threats. Okay, they're on 80. That's nice. That means I've set them up for a Shadow Chant KO next turn with the other Banette. But are they going to take out my Shuppet on the bench? Or are they going to deafen? Are they going to retreat? Let's find out. Yep, Dragon Roll by the looks of it. Okay. Yep. I think that's Shuppet gone as well, right? Unless they put it on the other Banette, but I don't know. Let's see what they do. No, they're going for the other Banette. Okay. So yeah, I would have been very grateful at the time there because I know exactly what I'm after, and it's the Safeguard Banette, because that's my only chance of taking out Water Latios. I keep saying Water Latios. I'm sure there's another Latios out there. Latios Delta. And still no Safeguard Banette. Have I looked through the deck and it's not there? If I've done that already, I apologise. Dragonite is down. Okay, what do they have? Yeah, I'm just counting supports and discard. Yep. I think it's enough to take out this Latios, because it will deal 60 damage now. Old Shadow Chant. Look at these spooky puppets. Okay, they're going to try and power up a Dragonite. What's the plan here? Shady move probably onto the Latios Delta. And then Shadow Chant for KO, I imagine. I'm just going to pitch probably the admin. No, I guess, yeah, I don't need more mental. There it is. That's what I've been after this whole time. I seem to have gone on a lot about this card. I've not used it yet. Will it make a difference, Safeguard Banette? I assume it will against Latios Delta. I'd put Shady Move on... No, I'm putting Shady Move on Dragonair, am I? Okay. Don't know if that was the right thing to do. Although, if they can't get that out of the active, then it's GG, right? It's weak to... Okay, immediately get it out of the active. There we go. Does it just have free retreat constantly, that card? I can't remember. Maybe it does. Okay, what am I up to here? I mean, I can... No. Oh! It's game over. Alright, well there you go, folks. Who knows what would have happened there? Somehow I won. Okay, next game. Yo champ. It's Mike Sprang, the base fossil champion of London and champion of the other tournament he went to before going to London. Was it in the West Country? But yeah, the two-time base fossil champ. How's he going to do in RSPK, though? Only one way to find out. Here we are. Just looking at the backs of the cards here. There we go. Practicing for Dark Sphere. Uh-oh. Yeah. I sure am. I need all the practice I can get. Dark Metal. Okay, yeah. So, I'm pretty sure that Dragtrode, all these darkness types, absolutely... Yep, here we go. Uh-oh, I think I get pwned by this deck. I won't be there, so your secrets are safe with me. I think most people on the WhatsApp... Well, certain people definitely know that I'm playing Banette at this tournament, so... Yeah. It's a bad matchup for sure. Yeah, so Dragtrode, all these darkness types... yeah. Banette does not do well against these darkness types. So I've got to win real quick here, otherwise I'm in big trouble. And of course, Sneasel even resists Psychic. So not only is Banette weak to Sneasel, EX that is, but Sneasel resists Banette. So it's a dreadful matchup. You know, if someone out there knows how Banette is supposed to beat Dragtrode, please let me know in the comments, because I'm sort of thinking, if I was to build this deck now, this is Jason's list, but would you tech in something like Crystal Shard? Would you tech in just some colourless attacker? My screen has gone insane here. Oh no. This is my attempt to just get out of playing a terrible matchup. I've downloaded a virus just to avoid the indignity of getting destroyed by Dragtrode here. Okay, I managed to solve the screen issues. What's going on in the chat? The game's a foregone conclusion here, I think. We're just sort of chatting now. Mike Sprague will be playing in the Scramble series. Fantastic. Good luck. I might be able to spectate. I think I did watch a bit of that on the old TCGOne. I can't remember who was victorious now. It might have been Tfue, the chap I somehow managed to beat earlier. Oh my goodness, that is the definition of beginner's luck, I think. Hey, sometimes luck prevails in the old Pokemon TCG. Yeah. Anyway, what is going on? I've managed an energy removal. That's pretty good. So. Oh, they've got Sneasel though. They've got Sneasel and 2 Voltorbs. They're going to be able to get an Electrode on the go, fish for those Darkness energies with what's it called? Darkness Navigation. Power up that Sneasel. Awesome. It's going to be a long. Okay. Yeah. Just a bit of TCG1 chat here. Yeah. Trying to delay the inevitable. Clearly. Right then. Power up Shuppet. Am I going to ascend or am I just going to? I'm going to ascend. Right then. There we go. Let's see. I'm checking how many supporters. Okay, so I can hit for 60 damage. Not bad. Are we going to get Dragonair? There we go. Dragonair into Electrode. Into some energy for Sneasel. It ain't looking good, folks. Mike Sprague. Clearly not just a base fossil. Hot shot. He knows what he's doing in RSPK too. Fair enough. Darkness Navigation. But onto what though? I assume the Sneasel. Well, onto it goes onto Electrode until they're going to have Dragonite next turn, aren't they? Let's be honest. Although can I take out Dragonair? I think I can. Okay. Maybe it isn't looking super bleak. Oh, they've got Warp Point. Great. Okay, and oh my, what? So now we're going to get Dark Dragonite into, so they can transfer the energy over onto Sneasel, and then we're going to say goodbye to Banette. I think that's what's coming here. I'm stocking up on Shuppets whilst I can. I guess aside from Crystal Shard or some sort of colourless attacker, if this deck had Battle Frontier, I guess that would be able to stop, a Dragtrode deck. But there must be a way. I hate the idea that there's a format where some decks just lose to other decks. Is this just an auto loss to Dragtrode? I'm sure it isn't, because I'm sure a better player than me might know a way of how to beat this deck. So I'm not saying that this is an auto loss situation, because I never like the idea of a format where if you play this deck, you will always lose to this other deck, because even in base fossil, for example, Licky Tungstool is the best deck, but it's totally beatable with a variety of other decks. I don't think you'll see Dragtrode at Darksphere. I'm one of the very few who even play it on here. To which I say, I really hope I don't see it at Darksphere. I feel like quite a few people play it on TCG1 though. Or maybe I just think that because I never beat it. See, most of my decks seem to be really bad against it, so I've started teching in Crystal Shards and various colourless attackers to try and deal with it. I'll let you know how it goes, Mike. You're in the video explaining how it went. At the moment, I don't know how it's gone. This is the past you're listening to. So perhaps I was victorious, or perhaps I, like in the base fossil tournament, came bottom. Who knows? What's going on here? Still no prizes taken. There's been a lot of chit chat, hasn't there? So, sorry about this, folks. But this is a key matchup. There must be a way for Banette to beat Dragtrode. Like I was saying, in base fossil, it's all quite even. Certain decks are better. certain decks struggle more against others, but like you see so much tech in all the base fossil decks nowadays. You know, Rain Dance struggles against Mr. Mime, so it has Lapras or Tentacruel if you're wild. You know, Hitmonchan always runs Dodrio now, so that it isn't walled by stuff. You know, it's full of techs. Like, you have to consider, yeah, you just don't have any sort of, I don't think, immediate auto-loss decks in base fossil. If you do, then, you know, you shouldn't do, change your deck. Okay, yeah, Sneasel and Dragonite both powered up. Like, what do I do here? Probably start building up a Banette on the bench, I imagine, so that I can somehow take out that Sneasel. Yeah, I can. I've got Jolteon. I can hit Jolteon, the older Yellow Ray, Shady Move, and then Shadow Chant. That would take out Sneasel. But then I've got to deal with Dark Dragonite. I don't think I can get the energy accelerated in time. Great. Get those Cosmic Rocks in. Why not? I think they're lambs to the slaughter at this point. Whilst I try and figure out a way of powering a Banette up. Yeah. Oy. But hey, we learn. What am I learning? I think all I'm learning now is that this deck's really bad against Dragtrode. Because there's no alternate attackers in this deck, are there? It's just Banette, so that darkness weakness is a huge problem, isn't it? There's another Sneasel. I've recently put I've got a Dragonite EX deck, and I've recently stuck Togetic in it to try and deal with Dragtrode with its Holy Shield ability and it being colourless. I also run the other Dragonite EX, the colourless one in that deck as well, just to sort of surprise KO these darkness types, but none of which feature in three-time world champion Jason Kaczynski's list for Banette. Right, go on, Warp Point, shop it into something else. What am I going to say here? I think I'm considering just typing, you win, I give up, but that's not the way. Let's send my boys down fighting here, come on. That's what a good general does, right? He doesn't admit defeat, he just sends more soldiers to head on into cannon fire. There we go. Okay. Yeah, Rocket's Pokeball. It's a great deck, Dragtrode, it really is. I mean, again, I don't know the format well enough to be like... I guess Gardevoir could just imprison stuff. That would be annoying. And again, Battle Frontier, that would be really annoying for Dragtrode. But yeah, I don't know the format enough to delve into exactly what the best things against it are. All I know is that, yes, this Banette deck is not good against it. I think it's GG. Yeah, the math don't lie. I'm correcting myself. The maths don't lie. The grammar's still poor there, but at least I've made it English. Maths, not math. Sorry, Americans. Right then, yeah, here we go. I'll take a KO just for why not. But yeah, it's all over. Even Mike realizes it. It's yeah. In comes Dragonite. I'll be gracious and let him take me down. I'm not just going to surrender and run away like some people. Nah, it's fine, guys. Come on, I don't mind. You do you. It's all chill. But yeah, GG. Okay, what do we got next? Hopefully no more darkness decks. Okay, I saw a mulligan there. I saw a Delcatty and I saw a Seadra. I'm assuming it's, well, Delcatty and Kingdra deck. Iquomi, I hope that's pronounced right. Iquomi, they play some really interesting decks. They're a very good RSPK player. They play this one deck which drives me mad, which is a Crawdont EX, the horrible crab that it plays a bunch of cards that make you bench your Pokemon, and then this Crawdont just splashes them back into your hand, and you can't do anything about it. It splashes your good cards on your bench back into your hand, and it just leaves you with a bench full of like absolute goobers basically that can't do anything. It's a very clever deck, but yeah, cool. Makes me mad, it does. Anyway, what's going on here? I've got my Cosmic Stones. Doing something, perhaps? What did I do? I called for family. Great. Solrock's like, come on, Lunatone, get in here. What can you do to help? Who knows? Okay. Well, I mean, I've got a nice bunch of supporters in hand. This is a good sort of bunch of supporters to start with. I've got Hold On Mentor, which is lovely, which means I can pitch the supporter straight away. Then I've got some TV reporters to, pitch even more supporters into the discard pile. So immediately I can start building up my discard pile here with supporters, which is what you want in a Banette deck. What I also need is a Shuppet and some energy. But you can't have it all at once, can you? That wouldn't be fair. What are they up to? React energy, okay. Right. Interesting that the Mew, they've got Rosalia. So I imagine I'm going to ditch one of the admins with the Mentor, find me a Shuppet, find me probably a Voltorb for energy, maybe another Shuppet. Oh, I'm after the Smoochum Jinx line, am I? Ah, but there's no Jinx to be seen. Okay. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. Is that my plan? I would go for the Voltorb. I've gone for Smoochum, Shuppet and Voltorb. Okay. Fine. Whatever. I'm sure there's a reason behind all this. I guess, I'm biding my time. Another Mentor will pop up, right? All that Jinx will pop up. Anyway, I'm being rammed by Horsey. How undignifying. But hopefully I can get a Banette on the go after this. Luckily their Mew's weak to Psychic. That's what we like to see. No more Darkness types. That's no good. I can even Shady move with Banette next turn. So it's looking alright. I'd imagine I'm going to TV Reporter here. Find some energy. So what's the deal with Ikwomi's deck here? Something to do with React Energy and energy draw. See, I don't know this format at all, guys. Some of it's really lost on me. I'm just sort of stumbling around in the dark here, just sort of attacking things. I actually have a Kingdra EX deck, Delta EX deck built myself. Again, I'm sure it's not optimal, but I do love Kingdra. Delta species, it's just like a really simple, big, bulky attacker. Does 80 damage for 3 energy, and it's very hard to knock out because it's got the extra smoke ability. And then if you pair it with Espeon Delta species, you can even Delta heal. Chuck a couple of Oran berries in. Kingdra becomes really difficult to knock out. It can really screw up your opponent's maths. Oh, here we go. What did I do there? TV reported. Great. Into Banette. Here we go. Shady move. Go on, stick that on Seadra. Okay, is my maths all worked out here? That was perfect maths. Not bad. There we go. There we go. First KO. Shady move, supporters, all added up there to hit that sweet 60 number. 70 in total with the Shady move. Okay. Are they on the back foot here? They've got a lone horsey. They could put me to sleep. That'd be annoying. But yeah, they need to find their skiddies and their Delcatties to achieve whatever they're trying to achieve with their deck. Something involving React Energy. Again, I don't really know what they're up to here. So again, if you know what this deck's all about, please let me know. Kyogre EX. Okay. Again, I have no idea what that does in this deck or what the synergy is. I know that Kyogre EX, Hydro Shock can just snipe stuff on your bench for 70 damage. How it fits into this, I'm just checking what it does. Yeah. How it fits into this build, I'm not sure. But look, Ikwomi is a far cleverer RSPK player than I am, so I'm sure it will make sense. I really want Mewstar does. I thought I knew what Mewstar does, but why not? Maybe you at home don't. There we go. That was your brief chance to read that card. There we go. It copies attacks. That's all you need to know about Mewstar. Right. Okay. I can baby evolve Jinx up. I'm thinking what to discard here. See you later, Girafarig. I don't need you. But yeah, I guess I can just take out this poor little horsey, right? Is there any reason not to? Shady move. Stick that on. Yeah, that Kyogre looks mean, doesn't it? Baby evolution. I remember... I'm certain I've played a couple of games where I didn't realise that you had to, like... what's the word? Announce the Baby Evolution power. So I would just click on Jinx and it would end up benching Jinx and therefore making 2 of my cards useless. Right, in comes Kyogre. I'm powering up Jinx. I guess it's the only other thing I can power up. I guess it can take out Rosalia if that ends up in the active. Okay, another horsey. I like how they've gone for every sort of type of seahorse here. They've gone for the fightings, the fires, and the waters. Nice to see everything represented. Okay, so I can't quite just come in swinging with Jinx, although I can retreat and hit it with Banette. Is that what I'm going to do? I might as well, right? Keep the pressure up. That seems to be what you need to do with these Banette decks. Just keep on swinging. Keep applying the pressure. And, you know, I don't know how I'd particularly disrupt their deck. Like I say, Crystal Beach might be the way to disrupt it. Maybe they're running lots of cast forms in this deck. Obviously they've got React Energy, but I don't know what else they're up to. Shady Move, stick that on Kyogre. Yeah. I'm saving Jolteon. And Shadow Chant, here we go. 3 prizes taken, of course. Like I say, who knows what their deck does. I could be falling for some horrible power hand extension trap here. Scramble energy trap. Sometimes I just merrily sort of take prizes in this format and then I realise, oh no, that's exactly what my opponent wanted me to do and now I can't win. Or, you know, you play against Bombtar and they make you take prizes and then beat you and nothing you can do about it. Again, I'm sure there are ways of beating Bombtar. I have managed to beat it every now and again, but yeah, that's a deck that I really don't know how to beat half the time. Gardevoir, imprison it. Is that the idea? Imprison those trodes, electrodes. Anyway, back to this game. Opponent is currently without any energy on the board. Seems like a sort of base fossil setup here, where everyone's been energy removaled. Again, if you are my sort of base fossil, you know, if you're watching my Pojo series and you're looking at this format going, what is going on here? Then yeah, apologies, I haven't potentially explained it very well, have I? Supporters, you get 1 supporter return. Trainers and supporters are slightly different, although they fall into the same bracket. Trainers, you can play as many as you like. Supporters only once a turn, and a lot of the format is just getting a good setup. Banette is some decks are exceptions to that rule. Banette, Arcanine EX, where you just want to start getting powered up and taking prizes straight away. Most other decks involve a lot of setup, and then a very, you know, intricate and clever. See you later, horsey. Then an intricate and clever way of winning later on. Then other decks like the Rat Lock or the POW extension lock decks. Ikwomi's other Crawdont deck, they're just about locking you into these impossible situations where you can't do anything, basically. You can't retreat, you can't attack, and you just have to sit there and lose. They're far too clever for me to be able to play at the moment, I think. Okay, we've got Delcatty going on. I'm checking what Lunatone does, not sure why. There's Lunatone, folks. Delcatty going on, but I mean, opponent here, they just haven't found the energy. They haven't found the energy to be threatening. That's been the tale of this match so far. I've noticed they've discarded they're throwing a Skitty in there, but you know, ain't gonna last long. GG, Ikwomi. I'm sorry, friend, you just couldn't find the energy, could you? Just happens. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes the cards just aren't there for you. What am I up to here? I am ploughing on nonetheless. GG, but I'm still gonna. The carnage continues. Yeah. Hey, there you go. Well done, Banette. You've redeemed yourself after that Dragtrode mullering. Lovely stuff. It goes on. You thought it was going to fade to a different game there, so did I. I'm just seeing how this ends. You know, this is alright, you know. Sometimes you just want to play on anyway. I'm going to get Shadow Chanted here, am I? Is that for KO? Psyshock. Ah, that was their one chance. Sorry, Mewstar. Yeah, Shadow Chant for game. Unlucky Ikumi. I hope that's right. Sorry if it's not. But yeah, just couldn't find the energy. It happens. Okay, next game, and that's a decent opening hand. We've got Shuppet, we've got an energy to ascend, we've got TV Reporter if we want to discard. Well, we might want to discard Elm. Anyway, decent opening hand. What are we up against though? Our opponent is Ibuki. Okay. Holon's cast form could be anything. Deck-wise, I mean. I know that's Holon's cast form. Ascension, right. Straight into Shuppet. Of course, you can't play a supporter turn 1 in the old RSPK, so I'm going to have to wait before I discard anything. But I've got the Rainbow Energy there as well, so I can attach Rainbow Energy, Shady Move. I'm still only doing 40 damage though. But let's see what happens. If I find a Jolteon here, then I can take out Cast Form. There's no rush though, is there? Look, they've got another basic. They've got a Pidgey on the go. What I do need to say is, as soon as I see Pidgey, I'm thinking straight away I need to find our friends, the Cosmic Stones. I need to find Solrock and Lunatone, shut down that Pidgeot. Because, yeah, you don't want to be sitting there whilst your opponent can search for... It's a selection of Roltzes. So we are up against Gardevoir. Gardevoir, one of the best decks in the format. There are two incredible... There's a lot of good Gardevoir cards knocking around in the format. But this one in particular, you got... Gardevoir EX, which has the Imprison Pokemon power, which allows you to choose a Pokemon, one of your opponent's Pokemon, and just they can no longer use their Pokemon powers. Pretty brutal. See, I'm now thinking there's no point. What do I put this Shady Move counter on? Let's go for the Pidgey. Yeah, then I can hit at some point a Shadow Charm for 90 on the Pidgeot. But yeah, so they've got Gardevoir EX, which has the Imprison power. And they've also got the Gardevoir Delta species, the Psychic Steel type, which can Energy Hop. Energy Jump is its Pokemon power. Lets you move an energy card on your turn from one card to another. Again, super useful whenever you can move energy around your board. Yeah, incredibly useful. So yeah, Gardevoir plus Pidgeot is always a very difficult deck to deal with. It's just incredibly strong. And of course, Gardevoir can imprison opposing Pidgeots to stop them from quick searching. I'm going to have to rely on the Lunatone and Solrock combo here. What I do have going for me though is that Gardevoir EX, I think both Gardevoirs, are weak to Psychic, so Banette can hit them for big damage. It can OHKO them with a fully powered up Shadow Chant. So let's see what happens here. Yeah, if I can get Crystal Beach in play, then I'm going to shut down their ability to Energy Jump, cast forms around. That's the other thing that Gardevoir decks like to do. So yeah, let's see if I can get the that lock set up with Crystal Beach and Lunatone and Solrock. Anyway, for the meantime, they've got a cast form. They're going to try and find another Pidgeot. Oh my goodness. Well, it doesn't matter. Like I say, if I can find that Sun and Moon combo. Right then. They're going to power up a Roltz. Okay. And they're going to Delta draw for a lot of cards there. Well, 3 cards. There we go. That's quite a lot. Okay, well I can... okay, yes, Jolteon and Shady Move to take out cast form. And now I can take something else out. The old 2-for-1 tactic. Not bad, not bad. What are they going to send out? I think whatever they send out gets knocked out here, because either they've got a Roltz weak to Psychic, or, yep, they've got a Pidgey that's going to get Shadow Chanted. Okay, what am I looking for here? Perhaps the Safeguard, but Safeguard Banette. Look, I know it's a one-off, but it does always seem to be in the prizes. That's your incentive for taking prizes quickly with this deck, because you want to get that Safeguard Banette out as well. Protect you against those EX types. Anyway, will we find it in the prizes? Let's see. Shadow Chant for KO. Okay, so that's nice. 2 prizes in one turn. A cast form and a Pidgey down. That's always good. And now here comes another Pidgey. Oh, interesting. See, a lot of these decks only run 2 Pidgey. They tend to run again. If you're a base fossil player, this might blow your mind to hear that a lot of these Pidgeot decks, they run 2 Pidgey, no Pidgeotto, and 4 Pidgeot. Sounds mad, doesn't it? But they also run 4 Rare Candy, which is essentially a better Pokemon breeder. You just want to make sure you got Pidgeot in play as early as possible. It's such an insane advantage to have Pidgeot and just search for your deck for any card you like. It's crazy. Oh, there's Banette. Hang on. Huh? Interesting. I must have missed that earlier. There it is. There's Safeguard Banette. So, well, I need to find me another Shuppet then. Not a huge amount I can do here. Okay, well, you'd bench Lunatone, wouldn't you? And see what... okay. Take an energy card and... Oh, yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, discard the Girafarig, that's right. No. What am I thinking? Yeah, see you later, Girafarig. Surely that was the right thing to do. In case I get admin, I want that Elm. Still in the deck somewhere. But yeah, okay, opponent is in a bit of trouble here. I've got the Transceiver, so I can find a Mentor, get another Shuppet in play, hopefully get a Soul Rock in play, evolve that Shuppet up into Safeguard Banette. But here we go. Let's see what Rayquaza can do. I've got I'm ahead on prizes, so it can potentially hit me with Sky High Claws here, or it can just start special circuiting and sniping my bench. Yeah, here we go. Still no Gardevoirs in play yet. That's a good sign. But is one coming? Okay, they've discarded one of their Gardevoir. Curlier evolved up into. I'm in a pretty good position, but again, in SPK, it's you can never say I'm in a pretty good position here because the format is full of cards that are designed to, start big comebacks. Whether that's Rocket's admin, whether that's Power Hand extension, Scramble Energy. Yeah, just because you're ahead on prizes does not necessarily mean that you are in the lead. Well, you might be in the lead, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you are on path to victory. As I mentioned earlier, you could be falling into a big trap. But here we go. Going to find Shuppet. Going to find Soul Rock, I imagine. And either Voltorb or Smoochum. It's gone for Smoochum. Okay. Not a bad board here. I would quite like this deck to run a Mr. Briney's Compassion, just so you can reuse Jolteon, perhaps. Because once you've played Jolteon, it is just sort of sitting there doing nothing. And again, if I was against one of these, I sort of fear that against... Oh, I've bench-locked myself. Actually, I think both their Pidgey are gone, so yeah, maybe I don't need my Cosmic Rocks in play. I mean, they might have Pokemon Retriever, but yeah, I do fear with like this deck in particular that you could be in trouble against the sort of Power Hand extension decks that are looking to, get something useless in the active, keep it there, and Jolteon is now useless. Lunatone and Solrock are potentially useless. You got these sort of support cards that just sit on your bench, not doing anything. And yeah, I do worry that without the deck does run Warp Energy, but yeah, you maybe want Mr. Briney's Compassion in this deck. Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, dealing some big damage here onto Rayquaza, although I am going to get knocked out next turn with Special Circuit, but I've got that backup Banette, and they're in a bit of trouble here because if I take out Rayquaza, then I'm down to one prize left to take. I could get Admin, of course, and end up with one card in hand, but I'd still be in what I would consider a pretty good position because I've got a good setup here. What I need to do, I need to evolve that Shuppet into one of the Banettes. Not sure yet. It depends what Gardevoir they are looking to evolve up into, I suppose. But it's an okay position to be in right now, I reckon. What is opponent up to? Okay, so they run double rainbow as well as the cast form. Makes sense, makes sense. Can't use that on their Gardevoir EX though, so maybe they're looking to evolve into Delta Species, or they're going to use it for Mewstar, are they? Special Circuit, see you later Banette. We're going to trade prizes here. But yeah, you detach. Again, I don't think I need to play. Just in case. They could retrieve Pidgey and find Pidgeot, I suppose. Now, which Banette am I going to put down? Yeah, that makes sense. Does it make sense? Actually, it does make sense because Mewstar is weak to that and Night Murmurs would confuse it. That's a good draw because I've got this Crystal Beach. That's a really good draw there. See you later, Rayquaza. I think with Crystal Beach in play, I think that's potentially GG unless they can find Windstorm or another Stadium. A lot of these Gardevoir decks don't play many Stadiums. They rely on or Stadia, if we're being pernickety about plurals. Anyway, they tend to rely on Windstorm more. But again, without a Pidgeot to just source these things, they could be in a lot of trouble here. Yeah, let's see what they do. But I think with Crystal Beach in play, they could be in big trouble. Let's see what they've got here. Do they have a double rainbow? Do they have a way to get rid of Crystal Beach? Or is this another win for Banette? With Crystal Beach does okay. I'm getting admin. Yep, that's fair enough. Warp Energy, not super helpful, but you never know. The question is, can they do anything? Because if they can't, if they've not drawn anything here, they need to get rid of Crystal Beach. Otherwise, it's game, set, and match. But yeah, Banette, if you can lock that stadium in play, Crystal Beach, and if you can lock Quick Search into, if you nullify Quick Search, then yeah, that's the way. That's the key to victory, Banette. Because to be fair, I the only game that I've won quickly was that very first one against the lone Voltorb. Who knows what deck that was? It could have been anything. And it's GG. They can't get rid of Crystal Beach. There you go. There you go. Sometimes that's what happens. Okay. And briefly saw the lobby there. Right then. Who are we up against? Snubble Lover 74. Let's see. Are they running Snubble? Probably not. I don't think I've seen Snubble in this format ever. Mewix now. Oh, okay. I'll tell you what. Mewix, very good card, but that Psychic Weakness is not going to help it here. It will be. It can be KO'd probably on turn 2 by Banette with a Shady Move and Shadow Charm with something in the discard. Maybe it can't be, no. I mean, it could be. It could be if I was able to. I've got a Holon Mentor there, so I can ditch either Elm or Admin into the discard, straight away, instead of having a Sporter just sitting there. So yeah, I think I don't have the Rainbow Energy though. Curse Stone, okay, but Curse Stone will give me the damage counter I need. So surely the idea is, oh, they're going after Smoochum, huh? Interesting. Energy removal, no. The idea surely here is to just ascend straight into Banette. I will get a damage counter on me from Curse Stone, move that over. I need to get rid of probably Admin with Mentor, right? I need to get rid of something with Mentor. Otherwise, ugh. Don't know if that's the right thing to do. At least I can do that. Okay. That wasn't the play, I don't think. Let's see what happens there. Yeah, I've still got Cursed Up. See, this is a 2-shot when I think it could have been. Although I've got Rainbow Energy to Shady Move again. Does that? I don't think that makes them. Does that make the numbers up? It would make. No, it would make the numbers up. Of course it would. Yeah, on my next turn, it will be in the discard. All right, fine. Ignore me. It's fine what I did. Okay, because yeah, Shadow Chomp will do 80 next turn. Plus with Shady Move, that's an OCO on Mew. Right then. So we're in a good position, thank goodness. Do I want to put Crystal Beach down and get rid of Curse Stone? Probably not. I can keep Shady moving. Actually, no, I probably do, because I've got Rainbow Energy to act as a mini plus power with Shady Move. So, okay. So far, so good. What is opponent up to? They've found Holon's Magneton, which is basically same as Holon's cast form, but it's not a basic. So you won't start a game with that, which might not be optimal. Sometimes cast form is great to start a game with. You've got lots of Delta species cards in your deck. Delta Draw can be amazing to start the game with, but yeah, sometimes not. But anyway, Magneton is just yeah, a double Rainbow Energy that you're not going to be stuck with as your lone attacker anyway. What we're going to see here, Mew is going to mimic. It's got the power Versatile, which allows it to copy anything. So I assume I'm going to get Shadow Chanted here. But then they won't be able to. Can they then power up their other Mew? Probably not. Well, not immediately anyway. Okay. Which one? So they're sacrificing this Mew so that they can Shadow Chant another day. Right then. Shady Move onto. Yep. And. What do I do here? Do I find that Transceiver for Holon Mental? Looks like it. Get another Shuppet on the go. Discard the admin. No, do I discard the admin or the reversal? I don't need to discard the admin to take this knockout. But maybe I just want to get powered up. I don't need to do it though. Let's see what happens. Looking at this now, I would probably ditch the reversal, just because, you know, I might want to draw with admin. In case things start to look dicey. Yeah, to be fair, if I was going to make this list for my style of play, I'd probably ditch Pokemon Reversal from this. It's just not, you know, it's obviously, as of energy removal, a nerfed version of Gust of Wind with the coin flip. I haven't found much use for it in any of these games. Okay, well I've got, yeah. Right. So here we go. Jolteon to make up the numbers later on. Oh wait, they were... Oh, that was just... Wow, okay. They were just away from keyboard. Oh, sorry. That's not the most exciting content, is it? Dear, oh dear. I thought it'd switch back to my turn or something. I was wondering where all my basics were. Well, that took ages. I was just getting the mental there. I can't even attach energy. God, this is a disaster. Anyway, right then. Perhaps opponent has slightly thrown in the towel here. That's why they left their keyboard to, you know, focus on other hobbies for the time being. Let this match play out. Is that what's going to happen here? Am I just commentating over a dead game? Apologies if so. Surely not. They're not doing anything. This is not good content whatsoever. It really isn't. They're not doing anything. Oh my goodness. Look, if you've made it this far into the video, then congratulations. You've passed the hour mark. This is the graveyard shift. Oh no, they're back. They are back. They are doing stuff. I was going to say, this is the graveyard shift, so maybe, you know, this could sort of put you to sleep. Just me commentating over an opponent that's not playing anymore. But here we go. We've got Electrike down. So they want to find the Mewtric so that they can, I mean, disconnect, you know, if they can get rid of Crystal Beach, then disconnect would help. So that I can't put down another stadium card. But for the time being, yep, okay. Trying to find... Do I want to ditch that? I probably do, yeah. Let's just start ditching supporters and get fully powered up. I want to find another Banette, though. Maybe that Safeguard one? Who knows? Nah, probably just the EX, so I can swing in for 90 on Mewtric when I need to. See you later, Mew. And opponent is in a bit of trouble here. They need to find Mewtric just to do anything. But yeah, they've got that 10 damage on them. Banette can it hit for 90 yet? Not sure. I've got Jolteon though, so I can zap it with Jolteon, Shady move over, and maybe I just need to hit 70. I've not kept count of I think it is 70. I think I've got 4 supporters in the discard. I'm just going to check. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4 supporters in the discard. Okay, I think it's GG. We're going to hit with Jolteon, Shady move, Shadow Chant for victory. There we go. Pretty textbook stuff there from Banette. And Jolteon actually getting to showcase why Jolteon is in the deck. I've already used Shady Move. What am I playing at? Shadow Chant. That's the name of the attack. There we go. GG's Snubble Lover. There we go. Textbook. What? And I reply with that. Oh my goodness. What an end. And there we have it. That was the tournament prep and the tournament report. I'll put links in the description below to the streamings of the matches once they're up. If you've made it this far, well done. You should probably subscribe, like and share. Thank you so much for watching. I shall see you in the next video. Old Rod out.